Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to our channel, Bhagavad-gita. Here it is, because we have Bhagavad-gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and my name is Labanga Latika. We are in the middle of the 11th chapter, the universal form. So this is a little mysterious, because this is not the eternal spiritual form of Krishna, but at the same time it's a form he assumes as his form. And I'm reading now, we've heard a lot of descriptions from Arjuna here, how he's seeing all these hosts of demigods, planets, great forms, terrible teeth, all pervaded Vishnu, seeing you with many radiant colors touching the sky. My mind is perturbed by fear. Texts 26 to 27 today. Amichatvam dhra dhritarashtrasya puttara sarve sahevavani palasanghai bhishmo drona sutaputras tathasau sahasmadiyair apiyodhamukhyai vaktarani titvaramana vishanti vangstra karalani bhayanakani Kechid vilagnada sanantareshu samdrishyante churnitair uttamangai. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also, are rushing into your fearful mouths. And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. So this is an unusual vision that Arjuna has been granted by Krishna. Purport. In a previous verse, the Lord promised to show Arjuna things he would be very interested in seeing. Now Arjuna sees that the leaders of the opposite party, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and all the sons of Dhritarashtra, and their soldiers, and Arjuna's own soldiers, are all being annihilated. This is an indication that after the death of nearly all the persons assembled at Kurukshetra, Arjuna will emerge victorious. It is also mentioned here that Bhishma, who is supposed to be unconquerable, will also be smashed. So also Karna. Not only will the great warriors of the other party like Bhishma be smashed, but some of the great warriors on Arjuna's side also. So I haven't focused so much on the background of the Mahabharata, of this great battle, because I have focused more on the philosophy that is timeless and eternal and valid at every time and place. But at the same time, we cannot neglect the fact that this is taking place on a battlefield. And then, how do we understand this? That Arjuna sees God's many mouths and teeth and everybody being crushed there. Well, we can understand that this world, there is really no other exit than through death. As soon as we are born, we know we will die. So this is nothing extraordinary. It's not that Krishna is particularly killing these people. Everybody is killed at every moment. Our only real hope is to, especially in this human form of life, is to become a little serious about life and a little introspective and a little bit questioning who we are, where are we going, where are we coming from, what is the meaning of life. Here it's a very vivid form, because we can see that everything in this world is a manifestation of God's energy, because everything comes from Him. So whether we die from old age or from a car crash or on a battlefield, there is no way around the fact that we will die. So it's difficult to speak about that, because I'm also so conditioned by this modern view. We have this, I think I made fun of it before, maybe I can make fun of it again, the expression "you only live once." I don't know who uses that expression, I've only seen it written, and I'm thinking, what a narrow perspective. There was a story, and I also don't remember where it came from. It's very late here today, I'm a little bit tired, I apologize. I think it was a Viking story, could have been, if someone is dying and they are in a big assembly hall, and somebody asks the question, so what happens to us when we die? And then in one end of the room, a bird flew in from the window, flew across the room and flew out on the other side. And then the answer was, like, you saw this bird, it flew in through that window and it flew out. Does it mean it stopped existing? No, it probably still exists out there, most likely. Just like the soul enters into this body at birth, and at death it exits this body. The soul is not really changed, or it doesn't touch the soul as such. The soul moves on. But in this specific position, there's a big battle, and everyone's going to fight each other with all their weapons, all their might, on two opposing sides. And here Krishna, because we've read so much already, Krishna has this statement in the beginning, I think. Yes, now it will all it will all come out, how much I don't really know all the verses and all the numbers. I know the verses, like what they mean, but I never remember where to find them. But Krishna is saying that he's coming to this world in order to protect the devotees and to chastise the demoniac, and to give us all the opportunity to establish Dharma again. And Dharma, we sometimes say religion, but it's actually the knowledge, how we can act in this world, lifting our vision, lifting our lives a little bit above this position of, okay, now we're born, okay, now we die, let's have a little fun in the meanwhile. But the picture is so much bigger, and if we don't lift our eyes a little bit, then we won't. There we have it, 4:8. I can actually find verses. Paritranayang sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam dharma sangsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. And if we have a narrow vision, this seems like God is partial. He will protect some people, and then he will destroy other people, and then he will just give us principles, religions, and tell us what to do. But actually, we have this eternal connection to him. It doesn't matter if we are called pious or if we are called miscreants. It doesn't matter if we follow principles of religion or not. We are always connected to Krishna. We're his eternal parts and parcels. And somehow or another, Prabhupada uses that expression, somehow or another, since time immemorial, because we can't remember, we can't trace it back, we don't know how we ended up here. There are debates about that. I may have some opinion, somebody else may have some opinion, but ultimately we can't really know how we ended up here. Now we are here, and therefore Krishna has set up this place. We speak about the material world sometimes in very negative words. It's a martyaloka, it's the place of death, it's the place of suffering, it's temporary, and it's full of illusion. But at the same time, it really does its job, because we wanted to go elsewhere, and there is no elsewhere, because the spiritual world, Krishna's energies, it's the whole existence. But this little corner of the world has been covered with this illusion, or we have been covered by this illusion, so we are able to forget Krishna. But Krishna does not forget us. So establishing the principles of religion doesn't mean that let's start a religion now and tell everybody to do what we tell them. It means there are laws, natural laws, and we all know some natural laws, like you hold something in your hand, and if you drop it, it's not going to fall up, it's going to fall down. If we don't drink water, we will die. We know a lot of things, but there are some things we don't know, and that is the rules that govern this material world. And if we don't know them, we will it's like if you want to cross what do you call these places, where the ground is not very firm, but if you have a map and you know which places you can put your feet, you'll be all right. But if you step into the other places, you will just sink and get stuck, and it's very dangerous. And this material world is a little bit like that, because we don't have the full scope, the full vision. We don't quite understand how this world works. So Krishna gives us a roadmap. He gives us some principles that we can navigate by those principles to not get too entangled in this world. And then the very best outcome is that we use this human form of life for self-realization. We can wake up to who we really are and where we really belong. And if we don't do that, we will collect some karma, we will leave this body, we will have a new body according to that karma. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. And here Krishna is just showing a more vivid picture of how this all works, because it's all his energy anyway. Time is his energy. We will come to that in a few verses. So he's showing, okay, you think this is like your choice, what's going to happen in this world. Actually, we have no choice in that sense. We will all die, but we do have a choice. How do we apply ourselves to this life? So Krishna is recommending very strongly that we use this human form of life for self-realization, because otherwise it's really wasted. And then here is this specific situation where Arjuna doesn't want to go into this fight because it doesn't look like a very nice idea. And then Krishna is saying, nice, schnice, this is reality. This is a situation that has been building up. All these people, there's so much karma, there's so much dharma, your duties to be taking care of people in your country. That is your duty. It is not something that is a problem where sometimes we have to we have a problem understand that, because we don't see such examples. We sometimes see people who go for power because they want to reap the benefits. And I don't even want to touch on the present political situation in some large country to the west, because it's too absurd. But everyone in this material world is a little bit covered and maybe a little bit sincere. There's a mixture there. But those who have that knowledge how to look after the place for everyone's benefit, it's actually not just their choice, it's also a duty. So whatever we know, whatever we can give back to the world, to humanity, we should try and share that. But the best thing to share is Krishna consciousness, is this knowledge of self-realization. So here we have this universal form and all the terrible colors and teeth and heads, but it's just one way of looking at it, that this world is God's energy and we will all die. But here Arjuna gets a very vivid vision, so that he will kind of become a little, how to say, sometimes when life is easy, when there are no problems, we become a little laid back. We don't, how to say, act with the same urgency. But here Arjuna is really shaken up and woke up. And also not just Arjuna, but us also. So I don't want anyone to get stuck in this, like we see those sometimes these Indian pictures. I think we had some rock musicians some way back who made records where they put themselves in the middle of the universal form, and it looks kind of mythological and fantastical and maybe not so relevant. But when we hear this story, how in every direction he can see the whole universe, he can see the past and the present and the future, and Krishna is kind of saying, okay, so you wanted to avoid this, but you can't avoid it, because this is going to happen. Because for Krishna, there's really no difference between the past and the present and the future. He's in all those stages. Trikalagya he's called. He's in the knower of the three different times, past, present and future. So this is where we are, and this is the chapter to we're not just impressed with a nice philosophy or with a coherent understanding of the world, but we're woken up. This is urgent. This is life in this world. So what are we going to do about it? So Krishna is saying, wake up to your eternal spiritual identity and understand that this this place is not a good idea to stay around forever. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,